Greetings and welcome to your Mindfulness Mastery podcast. I am your host and trusted guide, Tawnya Love. I am an intuitive, shamanic, angelic wayshower, healer, light worker, and author. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share this podcast. To schedule any one-on-one sessions or group healing events, you can visit and book your sessions on my divinely inspired website at mindfulnessmastery888.com. Thank you so much for your presence and for your support. Now sit back, relax, and open yourself to receive. All right, so welcome to Mindfulness Mastery 888 podcast. This is Tawnya Love. I'm your host, and I've got my lovely soul sister here, another host, Cindy Campbell. And we were talking before about the importance of healthy boundaries, about understanding shadow work and like understanding, the aspects of that and what we need to understand with self-awareness and also understanding not to take other people's stuff personally. And I think that's where we left off, right?
Yeah.
Like we were just we have to stop and then recreate. So we're learning as we go. Thank you for your patience and your compassion. And we definitely give it out. So thank you for sending it our way. But energetically, I feel like it's important as empaths to understand, like I'm an empath and I'm speaking for that. But, I think all humans have sensitivity, whether we're acknowledging it or not is another thing. I feel like as someone, I, would say the title empath fits me, where I'm feeling energy. I'm very psychically aware. I'm very sensitive to energy. And so it's really important that we honor our own bodies, our own minds, our own energy. Like if we need to have alone time, if we need connection. And that's something that Cindy was processing today is she's an empathic being, like knows there's times she needs alone time, but it can almost be detrimental if we're in too much alone time or solitude at times, would you say?
Yes.
So what were you learning about that today that you would like to share as far as that balance?
As far as the balance, I was definitely too much alone time. And then, as far as shadow work goes, started going into like all of these different stories about myself. Like I'm a bad person. These thoughts are coming up. These feelings are coming up and then spiraling.
You were like Jim Carrey and Liar Liar. I'm kicking my own ass. Do you mind?
Yes,
right?
That
Basically
totally
kicking her own ass.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And what I was really craving was time with another human being.
Yeah.
You.
Yes. That being you.
Yes.
Like more connection.
You. Yeah. Connection. And I have had a history of not speaking up for myself and probably ignoring the needs of my own emotional needs, my own physical needs. And so working on that to pay attention to
beautiful.
Those. Yes. Thank you.
There's probably a few billion people that could join you on that journey.
Yeah.
And, I think it's important that we're just realizing that's where we are, even if others are way not doing that.
Yeah.
But that's so important.
Yes.
So important to health and peace and alignment.
Yeah. And I think even with connection also, like I've had a history of being like, I can do everything on my own. I don't need anybody else. I have to do it all myself. And to be...
I got you there too. Yeah. I so have been there. Yes.
Yes. And to finally say, you know what? I can't do this on my own. Maybe I could, but I don't want to either.
Yeah. Well, and to be truthful, like if we have to do stuff, like if we're survivor type people that have survived things, yes, we had to do some things on our own at times and we are fine and we made it. But it's understanding that we can also ask for help and that isn't shameful. That doesn't mean we're weak or we're pathetic or a loser, right? It's like, oh, I'm asking for help is actually strength to ask for help.
Yes.
It actually takes courage to ask for help. It takes courage to be truthful and transparent. I mean, it can seem way easier to lie and to be in an illusion and to hide.
Yes.
But then we're not really being in our power because we're hiding and we're in illusion.
Right.
And we're in isolation. So it takes a lot of courage to be in that place that you chose to be.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that doesn't make you weak. I think it's important, especially, I think for women, we struggle with that even as women, thinking we should just do it all. If we've been like you and I,
Yes.
I've definitely been, excuse me, like I'm a survivor. You know what I mean? Like surviving a lot of weird shit. And as a child, like being parentified way too young and being responsible really young to take care of my siblings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So energetically, it's kind of like a rebirthing has to happen to realize you don't have to put out all the fires. You aren't the one that has to save everyone. And that can feel really weird to leave that and come into a place where you have boundaries and you are taking care of yourself. I remember when I left my marriage and I told my son, I was like, you know, if we need to, we can have a funeral. You can say a few words, but you're not going to reach doormat mom. If you're trying to bring bullshit and drama to me about doormat mom, like she's not here anymore.
Yeah.
And it was like a part of myself that I really understood it. I don't know that he did at the time, but I did my best to explain it to him that death rebirth of the mom he knew and the woman that I was becoming that was still a mother, but was not a fucking doormat. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like if you want to come here, you're going to come with respect. But he didn't know that version yet. So it was very confronting and like, who the hell do you think you are? And I'm like, well, let me introduce you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know? And I feel like that's an important part for every person doing shadow work and going through that death rebirth to understand that don't waste your energy being afraid of what you're going to lose, but do your best in channeling your higher self and expressing to those you love where you are and who you are now. The ones who are meant to be a part of your journey, they will be curious at least and interested to understand. And the ones who already were committed to misunderstanding you and rejecting you the whole time, they will do that. Let them go. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because that saves a whole lot of time. Instead of you sitting around like being afraid that people might leave you if you decide to respect yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. What a beautiful gift for your children too. I mean,
I absolutely feel that.
Yes.
I feel that the ultimate thing we as parents are here to teach is we're here to teach by example and be role models, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when let's say we're 20 and we haven't been taught a fucking boundary in our entire life, and we had to learn that for ourselves. Because when you're abused, you aren't taught boundaries. Like there's no such thing.
Right.
So you as an adult woman or a man or whatever your situation, as you're learning that, and if you have children, they're with you as you're healing and growing. And that's something I feel children need to understand, like no matter what age, that your parents, yes, they're your parents, but they're also children eternally evolving and growing. We all are.
Yes.
And so sometimes we'll put these parents on this pedestal of perfection too. Like they're supposed to do this for me and they let me down. And kids can be ruthless to their parents. And that's the old version of Tawnya.
Mm-hmm.
I see as doormat mom was the mom that did everything for all the people and got just exhausted in the process and really didn't put much energy into what her needs were or what made her happy. And she struggled and she didn't feel very loved or respected most of the time.
Yeah.
And so she had to die. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, she really did. There was a time we had to put her to rest. And that doesn't mean we die. And this is something, I mean, I can be playful with things, but I was literally suicidal. I literally did not want to be on planet Earth.
Mm-hmm.
I felt so exhausted. There was a lot more to that story that we could get into, depending on how appropriate I feel that will be in a teaching moment. But energetically, we all go through things. And that time in my life was really torment.
Yeah.
And leaving that part of me behind was necessary. Kind of like in the movie The Peaceful Warrior, where he's on the balcony and he's up on the tower and he's like, I have to let you go. And he's talking to his ego, his wounded ego. Like he has to surrender it because that thing is going to destroy him. And so energetically, I understand that deeply because I had to go through that. And as a mother or as a wife, you still love your husband. You still love your children. And sometimes we're the leaders, us women. Sometimes the feminine is going to lead things, and not everyone will love what we're showing them because they don't understand it yet. Because when we're very intuitively guided, it sometimes shows up in shocking ways.
Yes.
But it's meant to. We're meant to shock them, like shake them to awaken them, right? So sometimes we get shook to get wook. We get shaken to awaken. But energetically, understanding shadow work too, it helps us. If I can understand myself better, I can be a better role model to my child. If I can understand myself better and love myself, I can love my partner, my husband, my spouse, my best friend better and more appropriately. But if I don't love myself and I'm not taking time for myself and healing myself, I am going to be inadequate. It's going to feel like I'm very inadequate in everything else.
Yes.
And I'm going to struggle. And ironically, when we're feeling that way, we do way more than we should. So we often are so taken advantage of, and we're what I call people pleasing Cinderella.
Yes.
And you know that song, Cinderella's Dead? That has to happen sometimes. We have to put her down and we say a few words, and then we rise as a higher, more aligned divine feminine.
Yes.
And that is what I feel is happening on this planet. I feel a huge knowing of that in myself. And it's not a hierarchy like women are better than men. No. But you know what? I feel women, the aligned women, are here to lead some things that men have very much failed at. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
Like there are things that men are terrified to admit to women when they're scared or when they feel uncertain of something or they are completely lost. And they'll lead their whole families off a cliff in that energy to protect their pride. That is ridiculous and insane. So there's a huge part of divine feminine rising in the men and women, because it's an energy that we have to honor and listen to our intuition, our guidance. And sometimes everything in that part of us says, everything's changing. We're moving in this direction. We're not playing this bullshit anymore. That's a big part of the shadow work and, rising to a higher consciousness. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And it's like you were saying, it's so important for children, and what a great example. Yes. And they won't like you all the time. Sometimes your own children will hate on you. Sometimes you'll have people around you, like you could work in the community and you're in that ascension process. And the ones who are used to you being doormat mom, they will not like it. And they will want to pull you back down to the level where they like you, because they're afraid you're going to outgrow them is what it really is. It's about fear.
Yes.
It's not about love. That kind of attachment is fear. And so when we really love ourselves, we won't let them do that. We'll have better boundaries. And sometimes that means people don't talk to you for years. So be it. That could be why your life is so fucking peaceful, because they're not calling. I'm just saying. And I feel like when people are meant to be in your world, they will reach out, they will connect, because they'll feel a genuine calling to reconnect, like you reaching out today to me.
Yes.
If I would have come and made you feel bad about that and harassed you, you just have more reason to resent me, and your ego would be like, see, we knew we had reasons to hate on her, right? And so if you just have grace in your own life as that divine feminine, and if you're a male or a female, it's honoring that divine feminine energy in you, that receptivity, that magnetism that attracts and draws in. It's very different than I got to chase or prove and exhaust myself and bleed to prove myself to somebody. Often that's very out of alignment. Mm-hmm. That's not going to get us anywhere but more chaos. We already see what that looks like in the world. It's not beautiful. That is not what souls like mine came here to be.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So in regards to that, like, what do you feel about that in your journey and what you were processing?
Just one thing that kind of came up for me when you were talking about that is just the healing that I've done within the past 10 days. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm able to appreciate and love more deeply, even just in that short amount of time, that short amount of work, and I can only imagine like how much better it's going to get just by releasing it.
Yes.
Yeah. And, could we maybe
let it begin with you.
Yes.
Let it begin with you.
And you were talking about dying, and I kind of laughed a little bit because I was making fun of myself a little bit. Because you know the meme where he's like, yeah, but did you die?
I literally shared that on Facebook the other day. It's like Pisces. Like when you're friends with a Pisces and it's like, man, I got shot. And then he's like, yeah, but did you die? And that's literally so accurate. That's so funny.
Because I was laughing because I was like, the shadow work is like fucking killing me. And
but
then
you didn't die.
But did you die?
But did you die? And the thing is when you actually have the courage to face that in a meat suit, you don't have to die in your meat suit,
right?
And come back again to learn. And sometimes people, they will literally, I've heard them say, I've shared this with Cindy where I'm like, man, there's some misaligned misogynistic energies leaving planet Earth. Like I've noticed them in my own movie where people stating like, oh, a woman being president or a woman this, I'd rather die. Okay. I guess that's what you're going to choose. And I'm not saying it like we're wishing death to these people, but the point is you don't have to physically die and leave your meat suit to ascend and evolve. And you're understanding that, like, it feels like I'm being tortured here, but really when you start to see it from a higher vantage point, like you're looking as the soul at Avatar meat suit Cindy. Yeah. And you're just like, wow, she sure is kicking her own ass. She sure is choosing suffering. How do I help her not do that? Because then that's where the rebirth happens, where you start to listen to that you, and you stop the pattern of that egoic, wounded Cindy. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like you're seeing it from a higher vantage point, and that helps you realize I can have a death rebirth. Like I could still love my children and be in their life. I don't have to actually die, but an old version of me did. Yes. And this is the new one. Let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm Tawnya Love. You're going to show me respect or adios. You can leave. Don't let my door kick you in the ass on the way out. You know what I'm saying? And energetically, that's what I mean by you get to a place where when you love yourself and you're ascending, that's a healthy part of your journey. And some won't like it, but the ones who do and really are there for you and they're good for you, they will honor those boundaries and they will be inspired by you. And that's something we always as souls, I'd love to help humanity see this and remember this, that you can always look out of a lens of compete and compare, which means ego is going to kick your ass right now. Like, oh, wow, I'm competing and I'm comparing. Doesn't matter if it's with a sense of your own self, a past self, a friend outside of yourself. If you're competing and comparing, your wounded ego has you distracted temporarily. If you shift over where you're actually looking from the eyes of inspiration, then everything is magic. Everything's inspiring your growth and your potential. So you could someone could look at me and be like, oh, wow, compete, compare. Like she thinks she's all that, right? They could be irritated, or they could look at the same human and go, wow, she's like really radiant and like inner energy and like inner power. And like, fuck, she inspires me. I want to be more like that. Don't try to be me because you will suffer. Right. Because trying to be another person is a path to suffering. And I think, our culture kind of encourages that shit. Oh, yeah. The whole like, let's lust after a celebrity that is an actual human that we don't even understand has just the normal kind of life we do. But there's an illusion of like, oh, they're perfect all the time and this, not. No, they're presenting themselves in a certain way at a certain point in time. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But to get caught up in something where you completely are being lost in a fantasy of something and you're not feeling you're worthy because of it is insane. To compete and compare like that. Yeah. It's just always going to make you feel inadequate. So energetically, we have to watch out for the cultural programming that would love us to continue to feel inadequate and actually reel it in and focus on looking out the lens of inspiration. Like, man, she inspires me to be better, to be a better me. That's what we're here to do. That's what way showers are here. We're here to show the way back to yourself. That's truly, if you summed up my whole life and why I'm on planet Earth, that's it. Like, how do I help you remember how loved you are? And like how worthy you are? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yes. It gets me emotional, but it's true. Yeah. It's about that.
Yes. I'm definitely working towards that.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's good just to recognize when we're out of that is just showing us, hey, a really neutral way you can look at it is, wow, I'm suffering. Ego has me. My wounded ego has me for a bit. What is it got me looking at? Okay, I want to feel good again. How do I do that? Let me shift over and focus on appreciation and gratitude. How can I appreciate the work I'm doing in myself? How can I appreciate the people in my world right now that are helping me? How can I focus on gratitude? I'm telling you, the simple things are the magical things. We often underestimate the power of the simple things, but shifting from that compete compared to gratitude appreciation, you're shooting up the spiral really quickly, vibrationally.
Yeah.
And really quickly, you could, if you don't learn how to maintain your frequency and hold it, you can be high flying and in your highest bliss and vibration. And suddenly, because something external distracted you and you took it personally, you plummet to the basement of hell.
Yes.
And now you're down there and you're angry at them. But really, is it them? And this is something I had to learn really the hard way. But yes, in a sense, they're doing their shit to trigger you, but it's up to you whether you give them the power to. Or if you just go, wow, they're struggling. Anyways, it's a beautiful day. And you're just like having a great day, focused on your gratitude.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Can you post the image of that, the spiral and the
Yes. I can post that on
social
Facebook.
media.
If you guys want to find me on Facebook, under Tawnya Love, and you can follow me there, and I will share an image of that. And if you didn't see it, you can ask me and I'll do it again. So you can go and follow me on social media. And I feel like this is a pretty good conclusion for the shadow work series, we're going to call it, which I believe we did in 4 episodes. Yes. So anything you want to say, last minute thing about shadow work?
Nope. Just to remind people that it's worth it. It's worth the effort.
Worth it.
Yes.
I mean, it's literally, look at it really simply. If you don't do it, you're choosing to stay in hell on earth. Simple as that.
Yeah.
If you choose to focus and do that inner work, you are purchasing your ticket to heaven on earth. And you are the one in charge of if you ride the elevator up or if you stay down in the basements of hell. It's a vibrational hell, and you don't have to stay there.
Yeah.
We choose to rise.
And if you're struggling with it, get help.
Yes. And I love helping people. So reach out. Don't sit in the shadow by yourself. Don't convince yourself that no one loves you and no one even cares if you're here, because you're here for an important reason. Every fucking one of us are here for an important reason, and sometimes we feel like shit and we doubt it, but that's exactly when you need to reach out for help and ask for some guidance so that you don't convince yourself you're not worthy, because that's a lie.
Yes.
So thank you, Cindy, for sharing your transparent truth, because that takes courage. And thank you guys all for tuning in and listening. And if you have any kind of topics you'd like us to discuss, let us know. And if it feels like it resonates with us, we will be happy to deliver that. Hope you all have a beautiful day. And remember to like, share, follow, and spread the word on what we're here helping people with. Namaste. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today to our most recent podcast of Mindfulness Mastery 888, The Real, Raw, and Truthful. For those who would like to book any one-on-one sessions, you can contact me at mindfulnessmastery888.com. A gentle warning on working in higher realms of consciousness. As you are listening to our podcast, you may feel or experience tingles, dizziness, or tiredness. This is your body giving you guidance that it needs to relax. It's not a bad thing, but we do encourage you to honor your body and get yourself in a position where you can relax and receive these codes of consciousness. I thank you for taking a moment to subscribe, like, share, and follow, and come back and check out our newest content. Have a blessed and peaceful day.